Righto everyone, you've done a great job maintaining peace and stability here on the frontier of Tasmania. Now before we get you to your rum, we've got a special treat for all of you. Our very own Nightingale is going to sing for you all a classic ballad of our home of Ireland that has been revised a little bit to be a bit more representative of our fine British charm. So without further ado, please welcome to the stage our very own Nightingale.
And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh, no, I'm a rock-it man.
Well, to kick off 2020, I've decided to take a look at a film that, in all honesty, came out too late for me to review back in 2019, or came out so late it can be considered a 2020 film. The Nightingale. Now, I had no real expectations going into this film, positive or negative, mainly because the first time I heard about it was when my mum mentioned it. And then I looked up the director and found out that she was also behind a movie I didn't particularly enjoy, The Babadook. But after watching it and giving it a fair assessment, I can safely say this about it. I love this movie! Honest to God, this film was phenomenal. It had me on the edge of my seat throughout its entire runtime. It's about a convict woman in Tasmania back in the colonial era during a conflict with the local Aboriginals. She's hired a tracker to help her track down a group of soldiers heading towards civilization in the hopes of their captain trying to salvage a promotion. But she wants revenge after they killed her husband, her baby, and tried to kill her. Now this is a great setup. It's direct, it's to the point, it's simple, and it actually does lead into a very universal theme that a lot of us do experience at some point, a lust for revenge. But at the same time though, despite the setup, this isn't a film like the ones out of Hollywood that are on the strong independent woman bandwagon. Like, the female character, the protagonist, she hasn't lost her femininity. She's just someone who's emotional, someone who's grieving and full of anger and wants very justified revenge. So this really is a breath of fresh air after seeing a film like Charlie's Angels, where the whole point of it was denigrating men to lift women up. But this is not the case here. This is just a story about someone who wants revenge, and it's all the better for it. Something else that's also all the better for is with its brutal honesty with history. This film does not shy away from violence at all, I'm not gonna lie. We do see the British settlers and the Irish convicts do some fairly bad stuff to the Aboriginals, but we also see the Aboriginals do some very brutal stuff to the white people too. And it's all very even-handed and understandable with the context of what's going on, as well as with some of the antagonists just being some of the worst people on the planet that you're going to look forward to seeing dead. And the performances too, man, no one gives a bad performance in this film. Honestly, these people, everyone deserves an Oscar, from the woman in the lead, the guy playing the tracker, the main villain, and Eddie, this cute little 13-year-old kid from London, I guess. They give such absolute stellar performances that at times I nearly cried for them. And it also leads to some of the more horror-fueled sequences being a bit more impactful, even though they do kind of feel like they're out of place. Then there's the cinematography. Like, it does lend itself well to the dark, grim tone of what's going on in the story, while at the same time actually lending itself a great air of mystery, because at times it does feel somewhat otherworldly, or like there's some supernatural force going on that does harken back to some mentions of Aboriginal folklore. But at the same time though, it's just Tasmania in a time when it wasn't fully explored. Now, as you probably noticed, I've just been praising this film. Well, there's one problem I do have with it, but it's really just a nitpick, and that's that some scenes either go on for too long, or some scenes are totally pointless. And if they were removed or shortened, it wouldn't affect the film in any negative way at all. But other than that, it's a real testament to the quality of this film. Really, if you have not heard of or seen The Nightingale, I cannot recommend it enough. This movie is just gorgeous. It doesn't pull any punches. It goes right for the heart, right for the stomach, and right for the head. If you see a copy of it on Blu-ray, grab it. If you see it on Netflix, watch it. You're guaranteed for an awesome historical time. Well, you just sat through this entire video. Do you know what that makes you? An awesome person. And do you want to be a super awesome person? Then also hit the like and the subscribe buttons. Now for the next movie review, I'm actually taking a look at a short film from some time ago called AM 1200. And for game reviews, I will have my review of Path of Exile out as soon as possible. Then later on for February, I haven't really decided what game I'm going to be reviewing in depth just yet. And I've actually got some things I wouldn't mind doing first impressions on. I've got all that and more coming up, so please stick around.